My favourite thing about DJing, so like live mixing, is the fact that like you can control an energy in the room. You can like just transfer your passion for music. Like just it's just incredible. I don't really like that's it. That's the only reason I'm in it, is just to share my love for music to the crowd. That's it.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. Gonna find you and take it slowly. Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. Gonna find you and make you want me.
Alright, so I suppose my first nightclub experience as a raver. There was a spot, actually we were talking about it earlier, there was a spot in Gravesend that I used to go to being a Kent boy. We used to head down to the Slammer, and that was like, I would definitely say that was like fundamental in my music tastes and my DJing tastes. So I used to go down there like weekly. It's one of those things when you were kind of like 18, you know, if you're passionate about music, you know, you would definitely hit clubs, hear new music. It was definite. I mean, at those times, we're talking 90s, it was definitely a time you would go to a club and you would hear new music. It's not always the case now when you're playing out. It's you know, when you go out, some clubs are still like that. A lot of clubs, they're kind of like, people want to hear the tunes that they kind of know and they enjoy.
Now, the one thing that makes a DJ stand out from the rest is his selection. You know, if you're not a selector and you don't know good music, when to play good music and how to play good music, you're not really going to go nowhere too far. I mentioned earlier the likes of David Rodigan, you know, someone who in my opinion is a pioneer in his field. His musical knowledge is untouchable, second to none. And he knows what to play, who produced it, when it was made, where it was made, and so on and so forth. I find there's a lot of great DJs locally who have got some amazing technical abilities. They have some amazing equipment and so on and so forth, and they are very much amazing selectors, you know. But however, in terms of the London scene, I'm from something that's a lot more fast-paced.
The first one in Canterbury was a few years ago when I started DJing at the Loft. Obviously, because it was my first gig, I was quite nervous, you know, in order to make sure it's going to be like a really good set. The crowd is going to be happy, both the managers, the owner. So that was a really good experience because, you know, I got a taste what is, you know, DJing all about. So I think it was, really enjoyed it. It was a good night. And after 6 months, you know, I moved on into other clubs in Canterbury in terms of Chemistry, Chill, Old Breeze, Picture House when it was opened, and Venue. So to be honest with you, I've been doing it now for 2.5 years, and I really want to move forward into, you know, this career of DJing.
First time I ever like played like touched decks was I was about 14 years old, and then but I took it seriously when I came to, you know, I was about 19, and then I've just been working hard at it for the last like 6 years.
Why do I DJ? I mean, I DJ because I still love DJing. There's a few things. I'm very passionate about music from the start. My first love was hip hop, and I think my first love, more kind of primal than that, was bass. For a DJ, I think these days you really need to know what you want to do and what you want to get out of it. But you know, it's not all champagne baths and foot massages, let's just say that.
Up and coming young DJs, I would always say, learn your crowd, but more importantly, learn your music. Because if you learn your music, you'll be able to take the crowd on a musical journey of emotions. Remember, music is what emotion sounds like.
You know, when you are up there, you run the night, you know, in terms of music. So I believe the DJ is a key factor for any party, club, bar, etc. because you can make a change, you know, in that particular night and create a good atmosphere, and you know everyone would like to hear another set from you.
My advice is to find your sound, like you just like really sort of concentrate on like one sound. Obviously, I've done it a completely other way. I've mixed everything, worked my way up, but yeah, find your sound, stick to it, and start on vinyl.
I love vinyl, but the future I believe is, you know, definitely is going to be digital. So my choice is 110% digital.
I think with DJing, people see it as kind of like a dream ticket, but I mean, it certainly is, but you don't get there without hard work, not unless you're incredibly lucky. I would say anyone that's looking to get into DJing, do it because you love it, because, you know, every job is kind of tough. There's a lot of competition. You know, there's always, you've got to remain relevant. There's always someone that's going to come in and try and take your spot, which I suppose you get in a lot of jobs, but you know, you get that in DJing, particularly now. Everything's like super accessible with technology. Like when I started, it was like the music and the DJs were limited because everything had to be physical. It had to be records. It had to be vinyl. So if you didn't have that record, you couldn't play it. It was before CDs as well. So that's definitely made it more accessible to people. So that means I can produce a record in the studio now, and that night I don't even have to go to a dub plate cutter. I can burn it on CD, I can stick it on a USB, and I can play it in the club.
Lots of cheesy music, lots of cheap beer. Yeah, it was interesting. Wasn't what I'm into now, that's all I'm going to say.